Recently, Saints Row's Embracer company spoke about how the game has done critically and financially. Now, if you want the TLDR on that, basically, the game's selling well, but they're a bit disappointed with how it's done critically, as you would with all the backlash that surrounds the game. It's kind of what you would expect. The article seems slightly over-exaggerated in parts, talking about how the future is up for grabs and how Saints Row might be ending, but quite frankly, they never really indicated that in the article because they said the game's selling well and they have trust in the devs. But what really interested me was this line right here. Now, as you can see, the Embracer CEO talks about the game receiving content updates and bug fixes in the future, which is great news, obviously, and I want to talk about that a little more in depth in a second here, but let's go to the other part, which is that he's confident the game will make money on the investment. This I don't really want to talk about today, but obviously it's great news for the series that it's going to make money on the investment, meaning that financial worries won't be a worry, and that's always a really good sign with a game. But what interested me the most was the content updates and bug fixes. Now, bug fixes we're already getting in the form of hot fixes. Now, if you don't know what hot fix is, they're these little mini updates that come and they kind of fix a few bugs and clean up the dirty work around the game. This will happen every 30 days, 60 days, and this is what you know as your day one patches, your 30-day patches, etc. And sometimes they take longer and don't have specific dates, and sometimes there's just mini little updates that are always important to polishing up a game's final product. But these, as he puts it, content updates doesn't seem like DLC to me. DLC seems to be its own thing, obviously, and I don't think you would call them content updates, as it seems kind of misleading. Content updates to me seems like free updates. Think of live services like Battlefield 2042, but hopefully better. And games like Fortnite that gives you these content updates regularly, kind of enhancing the game's experience to give it more longevity. Now, this is really interesting to me because I spoke about post-launch content in its own video, and it was a really important video, and I said it's something Saints Row needs to survive. Now, if Saints Row was to go down the post-launch content route and kind of give the game more boosts with content over time and give it content updates, as it says it will, that could, in my mind, revive the entire franchise and revive this game's hype. Imagine if every month we logged on to a new update to be excited for, kind of like Fortnite. Now, I'm obviously not expecting it to be that regular, but it also hints towards things like multiplayer. Who knows? I mean, that's one thing that we've all been expecting with this game, or maybe a sequel. If they're going to bring in content updates, who knows what they could bring in. But I think it's so interesting to me that they're going to talk about bringing in content updates, and we haven't really heard anything yet. Now, again, I don't think that this is DLC. I think DLC is going to have its own thing, and I know it's going to have a roadmap and everything where we know about the DLC and when it's going to be coming out. But to me, it's just really interesting that they would specifically mention content updates. And again, the reason why it's so interesting and so important to us is because this could revive Saints Row and all its hype. We could get mission updates, we could get map expansions, all for free with these content updates, as they like to put it. Now, I'm not expecting anything perhaps as advanced as DLC, because DLC is paid content, and that's obviously going to be a bit more full than free content updates, but it does mean that they could do a remarkable job at improving the game and keeping a general buzz going around the game. It would help out both creators and themselves, as they would have constant streams of people playing the game, picking up the game, wanting to see what the game has to offer, and content creators have plenty of time to make content about the game, keep people updated, keep people posted, and it's something that really enhances the game experience. The thing that keeps Call of Duty alive past the first 3 months nowadays is these content updates that they keep updating. Take away those 3 months and COD dies in a few months. It's that simple, and I think Saints Row could have the same issue, but with this content updates and obviously the DLC that's on its way, I think it's a really good way of enhancing the game and keeping the game alive, giving fans what they want and giving a reason for new players to play. It's always super important to get new players on board whilst keeping the old fans happy, and it's something I think a balanced Saints Row has maybe struggled with having in the past, and it's a good way of going about it. No one, and I mean no one, hates free content. Trust me, if it's free, I like it, because even if it's lower quality content, which obviously we don't want it to be, it's free. No complaints from me. And with the only form of real monetization from the game being the DLC/expansion pass, I think it's really important that they go down the route of not monetizing it either. If they don't monetize the free content, then I'm telling you, that will win back a lot of the gaming market. In modern gaming, free content immediately means battle pass shoved in your face, microtransactions, skins, emotes, all of this cringy stuff no one really wants. And it makes people who play these games feel like little money whores that just have to keep giving money to the developers. Now, if Saints Row was to give free content updates whilst not monetizing every single player because they've already paid their $60 to get the game, I'm telling you, that is a huge expansion for Saints Row as a whole. Now, no Saints Row has really gone down this route before. No Saints Row has really gone and had free content patches in the past, and I think it's quite innovational for the series as a whole, and I think it really can strike a new chord in Saints Row fans. No one, again, as I will say this for the millionth time, no one hates free content. I will hop on whether I love a game or hate a game to see what it has to offer because I paid for it and I want to get my money's worth. And now I love Saints Row, so seeing free content is a great bonus. But if someone's just kind of 50-50 on it, free content not only gets them more enticed to play the game as a whole, it might make them like it with the content you're offering. So I think that, free content patches are a huge enhancement to Saints Row, and with them hinting at them doing it here, it could mean the world for this game. Now, let me know what you think down below. I'm obviously completely for free content, as you would imagine, as long as they don't scrap progress on future games. Now obviously I don't mind it taking a few resources from those games and the games maybe taking a little bit longer as you're extending the longevity of this game. No one's going to be mad about that, but do not do a GTA Online where you scrap all future innovations for a new game for just building up one game you already have. You have a foundation, build upon it a sequel, not impose content. However, feel free to add post content to build upon the game you've got right there. That is what's important to me, and I think that's what they need to do and not go the GTA Online route. But yeah, I'm completely for it. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.